everything ready. So make sure you guys smash up the likes, guys. I'm updating the title as of this moment, and I have just clicked the live stream button. So guys, welcome back to another episode of Box Mining here. It is Monday the 22nd. And well, there's hasn't been too much going on into cryptocurrency space over the weekend. It's been relatively quiet, but I actually see there's a lot of opportunities as well. So this episode is going to be primarily focused on just taking a look at the overall market overall. Then we're going to take a look at what opportunities and plays there are in this space right now. And since it's a Monday live stream, we'll do some chatter and see what you guys are interested into as well today. I also have an opportunity. If you guys have a Twitter account, all right, if you guys have a Twitter account, there's going to be something really interesting popping up. So make sure you stay tuned for the rest of this episode. I'll tell you what the opportunity for if you have a Twitter account as well in today's episode. Because this was raging. People were like, how do I make Twitter accounts? I had Chinese people asking me, how do I make Twitter accounts for this? So anyways, this is kind of funny. So anyways, we'll talk about all that today. And guys, if you guys are hopping into this channel for the first time, I know there's a lot of people that are new in cryptocurrencies. In this channel, we give a very deep insight into what is in cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, all the altcurrencies. And the channel is not designed to be overly shilling, telling you what's the best, but rather to give you guys some insight. And this is something that I've accumulated over the periods of time. I've been mining since 2012. Well, mining since 2012, then of course gone into the whole crypto bull rush in 2017, learned a lot, have a little bit of PTSD because the markets really collapsed in 2017. But of course, that's part of the play. Oh no, Siri's interested in listening to this pitch too. But anyways, that's what this channel is really about. It's not designed to be too overwhelming, and we do cover the news, but it's always kind of like an analysis of the news rather than saying the news. I felt that was kind of more important in the crypto space, especially. So anyways, make sure you guys smash the likes. If you guys are here for the first time, subscribe and click that notification bell. You get notified of all new videos that are coming out. Let's get started. All right, okay, I need to figure out how to, hang on 1 second, there's a black screen. I just need to add my Brave browser on here. All right, done. So we always start with a market overview of what is happening on a market. And to be honest, not too much. So this weekend has been relatively calm this weekend. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. So Bitcoin, yes, it's been moving up. It's been moving up 17% over the last week. But over 24 hours, it's relatively stable. It just moved up 1%. So right now we're sitting at $57,000 for Bitcoin. Obviously, there's a little bit of resistance. So I'll look at the charts with you in a sec and see what's going on. But on top of that, Ethereum as well. Ethereum moved down a little bit. It really reached $2,000 and said, you know what? Not too comfortable there at $2,000. So the price has dropped a little bit. So that's kind of what's happening on Ethereum Bitcoin's front. Obviously, if you look at the past 7 days, everything's been going up very strong. I mean, if you come from traditional finance, you'll understand, right? 17% over a week is pretty good in traditional finance. But I think for all of us at Bitcoin, in crypto, we want to see some action, right? I feel like there's definitely a lot of pent up energy. One thing that I do want to notice is also the rest of the current cryptocurrencies in the past 24 hours haven't really moved too much. So if you just look at the top performers, we got Pundi, Hollow. Okay, never mind. I apologize. The bottom of the list had a few. So we had Pundi moving up, Hollow moving up, IOST MDEX, Gold, BTC Gold is still up. ZK Swap is almost at $10. Holy crap. So yeah, there is some movement, but the top ones haven't moved that much. If you just look at it, the top ones haven't moved too much, and there's relatively, not too much movement. We have some movements down as well. So overall, it's, the top 20 hasn't moved around too much apart from NEM and apart from OKB. So overall, it's been relatively quiet for the giants, but that's a good sign, right? Usually when the giants are sleeping, the mice come out to play, and that's kind of what we're seeing. So that's why kind of the bottom ones are moving up a little bit. And because Bitcoin is kind of I think a lot of people will probably a little bit scared that Bitcoin was going to take off to the moon. I mean, it was poised to do so, right? If you actually look at Bitcoin, it actually broke through some of its resistances. So people were looking for a breakout on Bitcoin, but Bitcoin took it slow this time. Bitcoin took it slow. And, sometimes when Bitcoin goes really fast, all the alt currencies and stuff, they kind of all suffer a little bit as people move back into Bitcoin. But because Bitcoin is going quite slow over here, the altcoin space is very, very fertile at this current point. So we're almost we're slowly moving up to the altcoin phase, right? So if you look at the bottom, like the top 200 cryptocurrencies, so 1 to 200 right now, you definitely see a lot of movement there as well. More ups than downs. If you look at it, Dent, KuCoin tokens moving up, and you can see that kind of repeating pattern, right? You saw both Huobi and OKB also moving up. I think this is largely due to the fact that Binance Coin moved up so much. I mean, the last Friday's episode were almost dedicated to talking about Binance Coin, right? Because of just so much movement, right? With BNB at these new highs, the other exchanges want to catch up, right? So OK is trying to catch up, KuCoin is trying to catch up, Bitmax is trying to catch up. That's kind of the overall trend right now. But of course, okay, not trying to be too much of a Binance fan, but Binance also has their own Binance Smart Chain. This is kind of what really accelerated Binance BNB's growth. BNB is a native part of Binance's Smart Chain, and people can use that to almost use it as if it's like Ethereum, right? So now a lot of the action is going on that front. So this is why, yet again, it's a very interesting time to see whatever is going on. But anyways, that seems to be like the current trend of what's going on and what's interesting. Now, let's take a look very quickly at the charts. I'm not going to read too much into the charts at this point, so I'll just kind of try to emphasize what I've been talking about. So Bitcoin, I've kind of positioned it as it's kind of growing in this channel here. So look at that. That's almost a straight line, right? You cannot ask for a more perfect straight line than that. It's a linear line just going up very, very steady. Bitcoin is like, relative to the traditional markets, obviously this is like a rocket ship, right? The people who are probably looking at this from traditional finance like, oh my God, it's blowing up. But obviously for us, we're in crypto. We like these like giant hockey stick actions. But anyways, that's kind of the hourly chart for Bitcoin. Not going to read too much. I think Bitcoin's behaving the way it should. There's definitely a lot of kind of energy into Bitcoin. I don't channel energy. Give me a sec. Give me a sec here. But the way that Bitcoin's kind of working right now is it's growing very, very aggressively. If you just kind of look at how, if you zoom out a little bit, Bitcoin has been just on the upward trajectory. And here we go. That actually makes more sense if I have the chart up there now. So yeah, so Bitcoin, if you look at it from a 1 day candles, you'll see that it's just been moving up pretty aggressively, pretty much in a linear fashion. And if you look at it, zoom out a little bit more, this is the last bull run, right? We pretty much dwarfed that at that point right now. If you actually, I think a lot of people were surprised, right? When, like I said, I've been in 2017 before. I saw the hype, and we were all wondering if this wave will be bigger, right? Now it's pretty abundantly clear that it's a lot more big. It's a lot bigger, and also there's a lot more talk, like a lot more institutional talk. In 2017, there were talk about institutional investors getting into crypto, but there wasn't as much kind of things stacked for Bitcoin. For example, this year, Coinbase is going to do an IPO. So they're going to kind of raise money from the public, and they need some hype for it too, right? They need to prove that the cryptocurrency space is worth investing into. And that's why they're probably, their objective now is to just increase that hype on Wall Street in New York, right? So that's one thing that's going on. And in this year, so we got also Elon Musk, of course, tweeting endlessly about Bitcoin and also buying $1.5 billion of Bitcoin in with Tesla's money, right? This year it's very, very different. So I'm still very, very bullish, actually. I feel like a lot of people were pulling back a little bit. Obviously, there's like with a rise like this, obviously people are talking about caution, right? People are definitely talking about caution. But during the Chinese New Year period, this is when I kind of re-entered. And whilst I was quite cautious here because I was kind of saw the approach of Chinese New Year being something that could potentially affect prices greatly. That was, there were dumps in the past few years, right? So prior to Chinese New Year, we had kind of a little bit of fear. But once Chinese New Year actually came, right, and it came, and then Chinese New Year started, and there was nothing, I was like, okay, let me go back in, right? This is when, all this fear cannot push the price of Bitcoin down, right? And now we're kind of seeing that kind of explosion back up again, right? After Chinese New Year, the fear is subsided, China's coming back, and Chinese people are going all out crazy right now for cryptocurrencies too. Definitely, like I see my WeChat popping up like nobody's business. That the amount of hype, the amount of energy there is just insane. So you can definitely see that, the fear of China dumping is pretty much gone. Asia is turning super bullish yet again. So yeah, that's kind of the situation we're at. And which is why I see plenty of opportunity this week as well. Obviously, that's why I'm very hyped up. I've pretty much stopped all. Like I told you before, I took like 5 or 10% profits, but yet again, I kind of went back in, to be honest. And yeah, there's just craze, and I definitely can see how the craze also affected the Binance Smart Chain. I think a lot of people realize that they can do a lot of stuff on there. Everyone wants to move there now, and yeah, that's going on. On Ethereum's front, so Ethereum tried to do a similar rally. So I'll still put Ethereum into this little box right here. So if it broke past, so what we saw on Friday was it broke past some of its resistance at 1,870-ish, and it pushed up to 2,000. Technically speaking, like, I kind of wanted to see this type of action where it drastically climbs another $200-$300 to $2,300, but we didn't see that. We saw some solid resistance at around $2,000 for Ethereum. So yet again, it got you definitely saw the resistance there, and then now this will become the next wall for Ethereum to push up against. But that being said, of course, I definitely see, talking about ETH, right? Potentially, some people might have seen Binance Smart Chain as a competitor, right? Because it uses the same Ethereum virtual machine. Developers can just directly copy paste their projects and move that to Binance Smart Chain. And we definitely saw a lot of activity, transactional growth. So a lot of people were kind of like, especially a lot of people who are very big into Ethereum, were a little bit salty. Right, I definitely don't see this as like a very competitive space. I see like everything growing, and there were facts for that too. I think CZ just retweeted. Let me just give you guys the facts for that. He tweeted this, which is the Ethereum transactions, right? Transactions, daily transactional chart for Ethereum, and the transactions per day on Ethereum just has not stopped. Right? In fact, gas prices have not even dropped. So whatever is happening with Binance Smart Chain, even though they can both use the Ethereum virtual machine, they both use the same code base, and you can switch between your MetaMask between Ethereum and Binance Smart Chain. Even though it seems like that, it might steal some of Ethereum's users. Well, Ethereum users that would otherwise not spend would go on there. So Ethereum network itself, I don't think is very affected, and that's the truth for it. And same thing with transaction costs. If everyone's migrating over from Ethereum to Binance Smart Chain, you would expect Ethereum prices or gas prices to drop. But we're still at 100 plus Gwei, and transaction costs are really high. For example, if you want to do a contract interaction, if you want to trade on Uniswap, you're going to be paying $25. That's quite expensive. That being said, on Binance Smart Chain, this is kind of taking all the people who are using smaller transactions, and this is why we see a lot more growth on Binance Smart Chain in terms of yield farming. That was huge, right? Like I told you guys about Egg Finance, or not Egg Finance, about Egg or Goose Finance, and that really took off, right? That was like the new farming opportunity. And it's good and bad, right? So I was talking about farming and how you can kind of potentially a strategy for farming. Let me put this in perspective and why I'm talking about this on this channel at this current point of time. So right now, there's a lot more kind of new experimental projects going on Binance Smart Chain. Reason being is because it's so cheap to interact with it. So a lot of people can participate and can get into this wave. So what we're seeing is that it's almost a food farming craze. So if you guys remember back in the day, I was making around 4 months ago, I was making a lot of videos about yield farming, right? This was a new thing that was coming on and was a new way for new projects to distribute coins. And it turned out to give a few really big gems. For example, YFI, Your Finance, that's a one big one that was that distributed its initial coins via yield farming. We also have SushiSwap, right? SushiSwap was also another very big yield farming project that really took off, right? And then we had a few disasters along the way as well. If you guys remember Yam Finance, that was pretty bad. The food craze, we got noodle, yam, we got like sushi. Sushi's another food. Anyway, quite a few, right? I can't name. I'm actually quite hungry, but like I'm thinking of other foods right now. But during that time was a food farming craze, and that craze was both good and bad. Obviously, it was very profitable if you knew what you were doing, but at the same time, it created a lot of projects that really didn't pan out too well. So I'm approaching this kind of with a little bit of caution as well. When I first thought food farming is coming back on Binance Smart Chain, I was like, no, there's just no way this can happen, right? We really learned our lesson where people are trying to go and ape too fast in their projects. But the reason why I feel like kind of this food farming craze is also coming back on Binance Smart Chain is because a lot of people didn't have the opportunity to farm when Ethereum was going on. I mean, if you remember during that period of time, it was costing around $20 to $50 per transaction, per contract interaction. And that's just too much for most people, right? If you've been in crypto for a short amount of time and you don't have millions of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars, it's actually really hard for farmers. But right now with Binance Smart Chain, the way I see it is that a lot of people, they can interact with a contract, either unlock or stake or whatnot. It costs cents, right? So it now gave farming to a large greater audience. I think people are just starting to understand it, and they are initially loving it. So that's why we kind of see, or that's kind of the theory of why all that food farming craze is back again. But passing some of that experience over, obviously, I would just want to say, I definitely want to preach safety. A lot of people are jumping into farms, and they're putting their funds into contracts that are not audited, and that could potentially have back doors. And we've seen a few of those. So a few of those were shared on the Box Mining Telegram group. That's Boxnation group. And this is a closed group. Generally speaking, we don't have new people in. Reason being, it was because it just kind of got too spammy. But even in that group, after sorting out through all the spam, we still had found some rug pulls and some good projects. So just be a little bit careful. Like, it's a compare and contrast almost sort of thing. There were situations where people really got rug pulled and got all their funds stolen from contracts. So just be a little bit careful there. That was some of experience coming from the last wave, and also speculation on the main currency. So I'll talk a little bit about yield farming. I guess I thought, why not? So this is the second wave of yield farming. Here's what my take is, right? So usually with yield farming, I just farm yield. So if I have something like Ethereum and it's on Binance Smart Chain, if you want to move ETH on Binance Smart Chain, the best way to do it is just withdraw from Binance onto Binance Smart Chain. But you're going to have wrapped ETH, or you're going to have wrapped BTC, or you're going to have wrapped USDT. So this is for any spare funds I have lying around. So if I have, like, say, DOT, I think a primary example for this would be DOT. If I have DOT and it's just sitting around in my wallet and not doing anything, obviously having some reward for it is good. So this is where the APY comes in. You just look at this, you get like 400% APY. But mind you, there is a 4% deposit fee. So we'll talk about that in a sec. But you're going to get this reward in the form of egg tokens. So you kind of get your egg tokens for free if you stake your DOT tokens. So this is kind of what I'm kind of more focused on, which is basically any idle funds I have lying around, I'll try to find a suitable farm for it. Now, that being said, of course, I don't go all in. I'm in multiple farms, and the reason why is because I'm spreading out my risk a little bit. So I'm in Egg, I'm also in Viking, I'm also in Wing, I'm also in Swissborg's Auto Smart Farm, and the rewards kind of are very different, right? So something for Egg, it's extremely experimental, and you're going to get 200%. And I'll talk about Viking as well. Viking is even more insane. It's kind of a direct carbon copy clone of Egg, and you get like 1,000% APY, right? Which is just nuts. So that's when don't get too greedy. I sector out something that I feel like I can risk. Like, if I lose all of it that I'm farming with, I'm fine. I'm also in Wing Finance. Wing Finance is generating me about 100% on stable, so it's nowhere near the thousands of percent. But those are for funds I feel like it's a little bit safer, right? Then I'm also in Pancake Bunny and Pancake and all that stuff. So Yeah, I'm farming a lot. Okay, I'm farming a lot. I got a problem. Yeah, I'm just like talking about it made me realize, oh my god, that's crazy. And this is why I'm very busy all the time. It's like I'm just trying to find a place for my funds to go and to kind of reduce the amount of risk and exposure. But at the same time, the reason why I'm talking about it is because this is one of the craziest spaces there. Like, there's a lot of just free money. Like the way I see it, right? Like, yet again, this is not for everyone, not financial advice. The way I see it is like this is like a free buffet right now. Yes, I'm very hungry. All right, just bear with me for this analogy. It's a free buffet. All right, it's like almost like Costco. If you're Asian, you'll know, right? You go to Costco, and there's like this free food, like the free sampler section, right? You go there, you just go around every little corner, and just take a little bit of sample from everything, right? That's like a free buffet, right? That's like a free Asian buffet if you're poor. So it's like going to Costco, going to every sample. Oh, you got a steak? Delicious. Oh, I love that steak. Oh, salmon over there. Oh, be right back. Let me check the salmon counter. Salmon's great. All right. Egg. Oh yeah, this egg thing looks great. Fabulous. All right. But for me, all right, one of the things I do not do is I typically don't buy the actual currency, right? So I don't actually. So this is where yet again it's like this has a lot of exposure, right? So if you're talking about the Viking or the egg or people like are speculating on that, I don't really speculate on that, but I rather just get it for free, right? Like I stake it, get it for free. So that kind of I hope that makes a little bit more sense. And then the last thing, of course, is just a thing about this, which is typically speaking, there'll be farms that have the egg and the BUSD, or in the case of Viking with the Viking BUSD. Typically speaking, I don't farm that. It depends on which phase the project's in. Like these rewards sometimes are insane, right? This is like 11,000%. This is like crazy, right? Like if you divide that by per day, divide by 365, you're getting at 30% per day. So this is where it gets a lot more risky. Sometimes I jump into that, sometimes I don't, but I've always managed my risks with that. So for some of them, like if I've audited the code, if I think that I'm still early in this and I can get, and the price will still hold steady, I'm okay with going into a little bit of that. But it's always like, a lot of people get drawn by the little shiny lights, and that should tell you something. That should tell you should be extra careful, right? Large numbers, these shining lights, you should be very, very careful. I'm very cautious when I do this. Sometimes I go it, sometimes I don't do it. But I'm always a winner, right? Because I got my free Viking. So anyways, that's my 2 cents there. The good news and why I'm much more confident about talking about this is because Goose has just got their audit report back from Certicate. So their contracts for at least these pools are safe, which kind of explains why there is around $132 million deposited into Goose at this current point. And of course, Vikings forked the code from Goose. So like, it kind of inherited the same properties, the same code base. So I guess it kind of is semi-audited by default already. We did a comparison on the Boxnation Telegram group. It seems to be pretty much the same code. Yet again, like just be cautious. All right, be cautious. Like none of this is official. None of this is real. No warranty. No warranties provided here. All right. But because TVL is a little bit lower on Viking, the rewards are a little bit higher on that end. So yet again, did a little bit of migration, but not full migration to to Viking. So that's kind of the situation. But farming is definitely back. It's kind of all crazy and stuff. And I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes. I mean, I see the opportunity. I'll definitely talk about the opportunity so you guys know that it's out there, but yet again, it's also highly risky. So anyways, Crypto Driver says, just ask yourself one question. Do you trust a Chinese business? BSC. All right. Okay. It's going to be hard. I think yet again, I don't really want to bring the racial stuff there. I don't think that really makes too much sense. But something that's interesting is that BSC is expanding. So initially, BSC is very, very centralized, right? So I don't think they make they don't pretend that it's going to be a decentralized, fully open network at this current point in time. Right. So the number of nodes is small and it's largely owned by Binance at this current point. But I think they're making plans to expand it, but it's never going to be the same level of Ethereum. Right. Ethereum is like anyone can mine it. And with Ethereum 2.0, we've shown you guys how to make a node. Anyone can make a node on Ethereum 2.0. And there's already tens of thousands of nodes already running ETH 2.0 with a lot of miners on the back end for what's happening with ETH 1.0 right now. So it's never going to be as decentralized. But at the same time, it's providing this alternate ecosystem for people to try. You can phrase things very poorly. I think I'm going to refrain from saying this, but like at certain points, it almost feels like it's like an alternative / a test net for Ethereum almost, right? I think people are going to get angry at me for saying that. But because you can be a lot more experimental on Binance Smart Chain because the transactions are much cheaper, it's actually much easier for programmers to deploy a contract, right? Because Andre, if you look at it, the creator of Viking Finance, he spent literally $10,000 deploying a single contract, and it's just not a fertile ground for developers to go there. So I see Binance Smart Chain being a kind of slight alternative, and it's definitely got trade-offs. All right, it's much faster, but comes at a cost, right? A cost to decentralization. And I see different applications needing different things. Say, for example, if you're doing a social app, right? If you're doing social app and you don't need full-on decentralization because at the end of the day, you control the social network in the first place. So in that case, why not use something that is faster and cheaper? If you want full decentralization, like you want to change a new financial world, you want to make an exchange that's going to rival NASDAQ or something like that, that's handling transactions, you have people around the world collaborating, and you are completely afraid of even a conglomerate trying to take over a network, then that's where Ethereum comes into play, right? So yeah, this year I feel like there's definitely a lot of tribalism going on with all these like blockchains and talking about trust and distrust. I'm not too concerned about Binance being Chinese. I think let's just leave the racial stuff out of there. I think Binance is pretty decentralized at this current point. Yes, the founder is Chinese. All right, I'm Chinese, but that doesn't mean that we're all the same people and we all have the same mindset and we're gonna rule the world, right? I think that's pretty abundantly clear by now. I think that's just racism. But the more concern is that Binance has fewer nodes. It's not fully open yet to the public. That's probably the bigger concern for Binance Smart Chain at that point. We got Jeff Kardakis coming in. Welcome, Jeff. Welcome, Jack. Full degen mode on that farming. Yes, full degen mode. But it's been super good. All right. All right, I'm gonna have to see my punchable evil face is coming in, right? Punchable evil face. Like it was good. I was free food, right? It's like you go to Costco, you get some free food. All right, that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying. Drip King says we don't like Chinese. All right, calm down. All right, we're all people. All right. So Classic Food says thoughts on Viking Finance. So yet again, with these projects, while the code base is similar to Goose. That's why I'm okay with farming it, because the Goose code is not, toxic. But long term, who knows, right? Long term, who knows? With these things, I hope the team is doing super well right now in terms of their communication, in terms of their announcements. But long term, who the hell knows, right? This is yet again, I'm there for the free food. I can tell you the free food is great. I love the free food. It's like I got some free samplers for like a big steak, some hearty meal there going on. But yeah, Dripping says I was joking. Oh well. All right, here and. Aloysia Petrov says we like the free food. Just be careful. Like, yet again, it's really hard. A lot of people are asking how do you audit these contracts and stuff. I don't personally fully audit. There's just so much code going on that I personally don't fully audit this. I usually ask one or two programmer friends to take a general look at it, but they're not gonna stick their name down. I'm not gonna put my name down to confirm if anything is safe or not. All right, that's kind of that sense there. All right, let's go for the news. All right, that's enough about degen farming. That is gonna be fun. Let's go get started on everything else. So news front, there is actually quite a lot going on. First of all, NFTs are like the current craze right now, right? So non-fungible tokens, they're being used to represent art. This is just insane. This just blew my mind. So Nyan cat, right? We all know Nyan cat, right? This is the really high pitched cat that makes music, right? The artist for this, right? You guys definitely know how bad I'm at singing now, but the artist for this made the first NFT for Nyan Cat, and it sold for 300 ETH. Like, this guy can retire right now, right? $590,000. Holy crap, that is a lot. I mean, all right, this is a point where, I made snarking comments in the past, right? I've been really snarking comments and said, look, what is the point of owning this NFT? You can just download this GIF image, right? If it's a GIF image, cool. I can download it for free. Put it on my mobile phone. That's great. But I think people like supporting artists. Like I don't know why they're spending that much money. I think also there's a lot of people who made a lot of ETH and they just want to they want the scene to succeed. So I think there's a bit of that as well where they just put their money in. There's also I have to put a grain of salt onto every news I read as well right now, because of the way the network is open, there's no way of preventing even founders from buying their own things to kind of increase the perceived value of their products. So just take a grain. But I do see a lot of excitement for this. So yet again, I don't know how much of it's real, how much is fake. That's a discussion for another time. But I'm very, very happy. Like, if this guy really did make 300 ETH from selling his GIF, like just selling his art image, congrats to you, sir. Congrats to you. I think you can retire by now. Good job. So definitely that excitement's coming in, starting with this digital art. But yeah, more to come. On the other thing as well, there was a fake Banksy. So apparently a fake Banksy sold for $1 million. Apparently it was not real. All right. So apparently they claimed that it was a real Banksy, but it turned out to be fake, and some guy spent $1 million on it. Yeah. So they did the due diligence, and they got the real reply from Banksy. It's apparently not real. So they spent a lot of money on a fake, but now they're like, oh, I don't mind. I'm the proud owner of a fake Banksy, but an original prank ban Banksy. Ha ha ha. Not really sure, not really sure what that means, but hey, you know what? If you're happy with your purchase, I'm happy for you, bro. That being said, last thing about NFTs, I just combined all of that in one go. Logan Paul raises 3.5 million in one day from NFT sales. Holy crap. Congrats, Logan. Congrats. Yeah, that's apparently a thing right now. So yeah, it's very big. There's a lot of action going on in NFT scene. If you go on Clubhouse, everyone's talking about that every day. There's also going to be upcoming projects that I'm actually kind of advising and working with in the NFT space. I feel like there's a lot of things to explore. Like I approach this with a little bit of caution. I think there's a lot of excitement. Like, all this news is generating excitement, millions of dollars being traded. But how do you generate long-term value for NFTs is becoming a problem. Like right now, because it's the hottest thing, sure, great. But once this fad is over, it's like you're it's like you're like, you don't want this to be the tune-up craze, right? Everyone's talking about that. Bitcoin is a tune-up craze. It's not. It has actual value. How do you give NFTs actual value is now becoming something that I'm actively looking at, and that's going to be the next big thing. I think that's Jonah says dude could have just gone to DeviantArt, but I think that's not the whole message. I think I definitely will give it to people for supporting artists. I think that argument really does come in. I mean, if you think about it, the way these big conglomerates work, especially, like, I've been working in the video game space, and the artists who made particular models and made particular character designs should get some credit. I was looking at the documentary on the Lux character from League of Legends. She's becoming one of the popular characters, and it was designed by an artist called Soraya. And how much credit should we give the artist? Like, we're playing these video games, we're getting involved with these characters. If you want to support the artist, how do we give them recognition? And I think NFTs is a very good way of doing that. So it's not just like, I feel like for these people who are buying NFTs, like, I would never spend 300 ETH on an object like that. I'm morally opposed to that. But I do understand why some people want to support artists, and I think that's good for both the artist and for the person who is happy to support them. So I think that's what NFTs are going to be about. It's not just about the image. But the value, obviously, I think is a little bit too much right now. That's too overinflated. I'm highly skeptical about all these numbers I'm reading on these major news websites. The reason why is because these major news websites just want to publish the news, but they don't want to do the due diligence behind whether these objects are really being sold out, or is it wash trading, or is it just a fake bid, right? I mean, hypothetically speaking, I can issue out a box mining NFT and I can spend 1,000 ETH buying my own box mining NFT, right? At the end of the day, that means there's a transaction for that. So you can see it publicly on the blockchain that this happens. You can send that to news articles and websites as possible. But the problem here is that I spent next to nothing on that, because the money that I spent buying my own NFT goes straight to me, right? So anyways, that's kind of my thought on that. Like, you have to be very careful, and how do you prove and disprove that? Like, that's going to be hard. I can even make a fake Twitter account that says, oh, I'm so happy buying the box mining NFT for 1,000 ETH, ha ha ha, right? I can make a fake one, a fake profile, and claim that this is real. So doing due diligence is near impossible at this current point. So I'll take everything with a grain of salt, but I do, and I have spoken to a lot of people who do buy NFTs, right? People who buy like Ivan's Big Boy Pants. And in fact, I've issued out NFTs in the past, like the Pirate Box Mining all the way back in 2018. On the Engine platform. I've issued those out, and people do buy and collect them, and I'm really happy. Like, I collect my own ones, right? And I collect other people's ones. But I kind of spend roughly around $60 at max for an NFT, but I will never go for like 60 ETH, if you guys want to meet. Anyways, Dyson and our boss is selling that merch you're wearing, so I guess it's kind of related to this. I can't comment. So I have box mining merch. I have anti-social crypto club merch. We just gave them out. I didn't really want to make a business out of it or anything. I felt like it was not a good use of my time at this current point. I do want to give you guys stuff. That's why I was like, I bought a lot and I just gave it out to people. So if you guys want to do more giveaways for shirts, I still have a little bit that I've ordered before. So if you guys want that, just comment below. We'll do more giveaways in the future with that too. Yabaro says it's called show bidding. Oh, well. Okay, let's move on to more news. Let's just cover everything here. We got Elon Musk explains to Peter Schiff what money is. I mean, I don't even know why people follow this, but people do. So anyways, we know Elon bought Bitcoin. You also know that Peter Schiff, he didn't buy Bitcoin. He in fact said Bitcoin was a scam. I believed him in 2012 and sold my Bitcoin at $15. So if you can sue someone for that, like, I guess like you can't sue people for selling. Like, we should be able to sue people like that, right? Then he would shut the hell up, right? Doesn't that make sense? All right, cool. Bitcoin is more expensive than a kilogram of gold now. Congrats. Thank you, Peter. Peter said it was going to go to zero. It's not. Okay, blockchain tech will bridge the gap between DApps and enterprises. So a lot of talk. I mean, I think this is common knowledge by now. We explored that a lot, and I definitely see that going on, right? Yet again, I feel like cool story. We also have the daily hodl. They're shilling DOT. So Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan reportedly buying exposure to one crypto asset, and it's not Ethereum, it's Polkadot. All right, so I just kind of filled the article for you guys. It was kind of interesting. Not really, but on that front, yeah, so there's definitely a lot of ecosystem going on in the whole cryptocurrency space. I think it's abundantly clear by now that Bitcoin is rapidly becoming a new form of currency, but at the same time, we can use that same decentralized concepts to create these kind of smart contract platforms. So Ethereum, that kind of demonstrated how powerful it can be. Polkadot coming up, I think there's a lot of hype in Polkadot. I own Dot now, like, yeah, I learned my lesson. There's a lot of hype on there, and I'm going to make some videos on it. The quick bit about Polkadot is that Polkadot, you can build your own blockchain with it, right? So Ethereum is a single blockchain. Well, kind of two. It's Ethereum 1.0 and Ethereum 2.0, but 2.0 is being built. It's a 2BA. But Ethereum's a single blockchain, and it gets congested, right? It's like a city, right? You go in a city, a lot of people there, streets get jammed up, nothing moves. And if it does move, it's very expensive, right? Polkadot's a little bit different. Polkadot allows people to build their own parachain. So you can build your own blockchain. And then it's kind of having your own city, right? Instead of being in, if you're building an application, instead of being in someone else's city, you're in your own city. And then what Dot functions is as a kind of like the mega highway that connects all the blockchains together. So it's like everyone can have their own chain, and then everyone can connect to each other. But why Polkadot the price is being driven up a lot right now is because there's official chains, right? So they're auctioning off these slots for what's going to be kind of the network, and you need to stake a certain amount of DOT in order to become the official ones, right? The quote unquote official ones. So it's like you're linking up the major cities together, and to have the official link, you got to have a certain amount of DOT. And the current situation right now is that every project that raised for a Polkadot parachain, they need to get enough DOT in order to get a slot right now. So it's kind of crazy. I've been looking at that dynamic as well. It's a little bit insane, but that's people. People are like Kusama. People also pumping people. All the degen DeFi going to Kusama. Kusama is like the testnet for Polkadot. In fact, it's actually the public testnet for Polkadot. Why people love it, I don't know, because it's a testnet. But I think, it's kind of funny. Right? I talked to some people before, right? Some people doing financial applications, and they'll take a look at Kusama and be like, oh, it's a testnet. So if it fails, my financial application is going to fail. So I need to go on Polkadot. But then I think, yet again, the same argument can go if it's not a financial application, if it's like a social application or something that's not, it's not holding if it's not designed to hold trillions of dollars of value, it's just holding someone's tokens on a network, and the network goes down for 3 hours, it's not going to kill them, right? Maybe that's kind of the role for Kusama in the space. So there you go. We got Jason Wu saying, DOT is a beast. It is a beast. All right, get some water. So if you can probably see, like for me personally, I've been trying to rest a little bit better nowadays. Yeah, oh man, last weekend was just too crazy, right? I think crypto moved up so much that like I was spending pretty much only like 4 or 5 hours sleeping every day, and I finally caught up on some sleep this weekend. So finally it's good. So yeah, I hope you guys are doing well as well. Tell me if you guys are like going ape on everything. Yeah, some other stuff as well. We got Fractal. Let me see, Fractal was there. So I think, let me check what's happening. So Fractal is doing a token launch very, very soon. They are doing their free the web discussion. So Fractal is a new project that I've been researching up a lot over the past few days. I've actually talked a lot with the team as well. So yet again, they're doing a launch on the February the 25th, and also they're doing a event as well on the 23rd. So if you guys are interested in learning a little bit about Fractal and how to save the free web, check that out. It's coming up on February the 23rd, which is tomorrow. I also want to say, I promised you guys one more thing, which was, let's see, the Mask ITO. So this is a completely unrelated subject, but some free alpha for you guys. If you guys have a Twitter account, you can claim your mask. So this was something that was shared to me this morning. So just be very, very careful. Like, I haven't audited everything, obviously. No warranties provided here. But if you have your mask extension on your browser, which I just downloaded, it's here. If you have that on your browser, you can claim some free tokens, free mask tokens, using the ITO. So you can just follow the instructions here. Just search mask ITO. It's an initial Twitter offering. So you need to show some stuff, obviously, for them, but you can be able to claim some free ITO. And I think there's like 3 phases for this. So just check out the dates. Why I'm saying this now is because, so the funny thing is why I'm willing to share this is because some Chinese people came to me and they're like, oh, how do I make Twitter accounts? I need to get in on this right now. Like right freaking now. So yeah, so if you guys already just have a Twitter account, you guys don't have to go past the firewall or something to make a Twitter account. Just check out the Mask ITO. They're gonna give you guys an airdrop. It just seems to be like free alpha at this point. If you're always worried, like sometimes I'm worried about installing browser extensions. That is why I have many laptops. You can just put it on an isolated system and that goes forward, or should be fine. Anyways, that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about for today. Yeah, let's just do chats. Cross Canada says, I'm so worried about ETH price. Why are you worried, man? Why are you worried? I mean, you're already up, right? Regardless. I think I almost had that fear as well, like right before Chinese New Year, because historically Chinese New Year was a dump, and I still have like that PTSD memory from 2018, where cryptocurrencies prices really just collapsed after Chinese New Year, right? So I was a little bit afraid, but I took a long while to think about it. For me personally, what makes sense is that like I'm up so much, right? Like even if I lose 50% now, I'm still up, right? And I guess that's one way I can kind of convince myself to fall asleep. Obviously, it doesn't apply to everyone, right? That's like if you recently got into crypto, this is where the strategy changes depending on your entry price almost. But for me, I'm happy to have the exposure to ETH. Obviously, it's so much easier for me to say it, right? Because I've been preaching about ETH for a long time. I'm telling people, yo, get ETH. And it was like $120, right? Telling people. And people who listen to me are super happy right now. Obviously, they got their principal back and they'll be fine to sleep at night. But at the same time, I have a huge ETH exposure right now. Like, I don't know. I don't really see this ecosystem going anywhere, though, to be honest. The applications will be built, but whether or not ETH itself, then you go for this philosophical arguments, right? Whether or not ETH itself will be used, or the native tokens of the platform will be used in the gas theory and all that stuff. But honestly, for me, I'm just kind of happy to be in this space. I feel like the amount of innovation on ETH and on every platform is super high. So I guess that's my justification how I can sleep at night. But yeah, it's hard. I have a Binance account from your inspiration. Nice. If you guys are interested in exchanges, so I haven't made an exchange video. I think I've been falling behind a lot on videos, to be honest. Recently I've been focused a lot more on the investing side. So kind of like towards the last few months, I put investing first and YouTube second. So apologies to everyone for being a little bit late on content. I will try to update people as much as possible on findings I do have and share the knowledge. I think that's kind of the purpose of this channel. I know a lot of YouTubers, they're just making YouTube for YouTube, right? And, I wanted to do that, but at the same time, the opportunity to invest in the space is just too great. I'd rather be the best investor and a second tier YouTuber rather than a first tier, really charismatic YouTuber, but a second tier investor, if you get what I mean. Like I want to know everything that's going on. I want to be on top of the knowledge game. Because something that really inspired me was when people talked about the .com boom, right? The people who, .com boom, I think there was a lot of retail that got screwed over by something like pets.com, etc. But people who were internally inside the industry, right? People who are insiders in that industry knew exactly what was going on, right? So the likelihood that they managed to find the right company and had the conviction to buy companies during the bust, that's when they bought Amazon for cheap, right? That's when they bought Google for cheap, right? This is when they bought Apple for cheap, right? The people who knew what was up in the industry stood a significant advantage, right? And this is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get as much knowledge as possible in the industry and talk to the right people in the space. And also ask them the right questions too. I've been fine-tuning my questions, and it's been really fun. Like, for example, you talk to some people. My favorite trick now is be nice for like 3 questions and then throw a super ugly question at them and then see how they respond. People who are good innovators, they're able to detect a little bit of aggression, but don't counter with aggression, right? If you see someone who is questioning you very aggressively, they have ways to kind of either deflect or kind of something I've noticed with some really, really strong performers in the space, they use your question against you. And those are the people that I am willing to invest into, right? Those are the people who can lean in an aggressive question and just push that back and really strengthen the product. And that's really strong. Like the other one that's very interesting was I had a conversation with, this is just kind of funny, off topic, right? So I have a conversation with Sandeep of MATIC/Polygon. It was a very interesting conversation because I kind of noticed that I was trying to probe what he understands and what he doesn't understand, and he was doing the same thing about me. Very, very interesting, right? Like, the way to do it is you ask a question and you keep asking very, very deep into that particular topic, right? Whether it's about, like, say, optimistic rollouts, right? If we're talking about layer 2 scaling and optimistic rollouts, and you go very, very deep into the mechanics, when's the exit time? How does that work? How does this compare to other ZK rollups? And you can go super, super deep and see how much they know, right? Because it's very, very hard to BS during a live call. And I can see him doing the same thing about me. Like, he would try to ask questions that would try to let him understand how much I knew about a particular subject. And this is why you need to do your homework, kids, right? Because then at least you know. And that was very interesting. I found that was very interesting. I think he's a very, very, like, yet again, I'm not gonna say I'm a Sandeep fan, but I actually really like that guy. Like, that guy knows that guy knows a lot about tech. He's very, very open to suggestions and ideas. I think there's a lot that's going on there, but yet again, there we go. So yeah, very, very big kudos to that. So let's got people saying LINA is a gem. We got Suppoman. I hardly sleep. Welcome back, Suppoman. So yeah, guys, Suppoman, guys, check out his channel. So all right, this is a shitty thing about YouTube, right? And this is why YouTuber people, like, this community needs to stick together, because Suppoman got his main channel banned. It's like, what the hell? So anyways, he's making a new channel. It's a new Suppoman. This is the new Suppoman's channel, guys. Subscribe to his channel, guys. Let me put the link up here. This is just BS, right? YouTube banned his main channel. I mean, he is... Like, I think what's the thing good about Suppoman, he makes things super easy for people to understand, right? I think that's something super cool. So guys, get into him. Like, he's much more exciting than me, much more charismatic. I have like zero charisma. I have the charisma of a potato, all right, compared to this guy. So guys, check out Suppoman. Check out his new channel. Subscribe to that if you can. Like, he's rebuilding from scratch, and that takes a lot of courage, right? That's a lot of respect for me, because like, I was constantly afraid of getting my channel banned, right? This is something that's, you start YouTube, right? Back in the day, I relied on YouTube, right? Like, I relied on donations. I relied on YouTube. I had some affiliate codes that I was like, okay, here's some affiliate codes. And, at that time, I didn't have much in crypto, right? Very different time from now. But I was so paranoid, right? I love this community too. Like, I don't want to see this community get wiped out. Luckily for us all here, like, we have the Telegram group. I don't lose sleep on this YouTube thing. But what YouTube did to Suppoman's channel, that they just cut his live stream off and just deleted his channel, that's total BS. But anyways, he's back. He's got a new channel, and we're trying to get his old channel back. So yeah, like, let's make sure that happens, guys. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, welcome, Suppo. Welcome. So yeah, check out shit stuff. We have Box Money. Look at Quick Swap. I'll try to look at as much stuff as possible, to be honest. I'm so overwhelmed. I'm recently, like I said, I think my focus has been on a few set projects. A lot of people are asking me about Finex Flow interview coming soon. FXF. DAO Maker's doing some really big moves. The Duck guys are doing some crazy moves too. My God, there's a lot to look at. Like, I take a look at the amount of stuff I want to talk about, and I just sigh. I'm like, oh my God, how can I just, like, can I clone myself, please? That would be the best. But yeah. Mike Zamil says, how can you support him, Box? Dude, I think there's so much hate on YouTube. Like, I think a lot of people love and hate Suppo. Like, he obviously talked about a lot of coins, but at the same time, you have to think about it this way, right? Like, as a content creator, you have to create content. And, like, I don't know. Like, I think there's a big difference. Like, I think, like, on Ian Bellina's side, he actually ran books, and there were certain times at which he was caught to be dishonest about certain things. But I think Suppoman didn't lie to people. I think he was just genuinely excited about a few certain projects. Some went well, some didn't. But, like, this is how you should view YouTube, right? Like, as a person who watches the space and comments, like, I definitely got a lot of hate in 2019. Like, a lot of people think Box Mining is a scammer. 2018, same thing. 2020. And that's because people lost money, right? But you're bound to lose money in this space. Like, this market, you're bound to lose money. Like, there's going to be certain projects that turn out to be complete scams, or not even scams. They just fail, right? What if they just completely fail? Their idea just didn't work. And a lot of people think that's a scam, but sometimes it's just a failure, and that's happens in the kind of VC space, right? If you're gonna try to, and I've seen a lot of people in, a lot of people in crypto, they're moving themselves and becoming VCs. If you're gonna be a VC, you got to do your own research, right? And I kind of see YouTube as a starting point for a lot of research, but it should definitely not be the end point of research. So I'll leave it at that. I think a lot of people, they blame YouTubers unnecessarily and classify all YouTubers to be the same thing. And I definitely have a lot of hate from that. Like that was relatively unpleasant to say the least. But move past that. So, anyways, um, that's pretty much it. Let's see. Suppo is the man. Okay, we have Anthony. Anthony does YT's white box money. Why does Anthony's channel explode but not yours? But yours is the same. I think we're actually growing quite aggressively. I think I need to do a little bit more content. Ivan's been doing a lot more content than I have. And that's good for him. I'm happy for him. I'm super, super happy for him. So yet again, I think I'll do a little bit more content, but yet again, I don't like, I had a lot of like ideological thought about YouTube and how I want to position myself. Like this year, I've been doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes as well, helping out Genesis Block Ventures. On the venture side of things, that's been a bigger focus. So like I said, I'm more of a investor first and YouTuber second. And the fact that I'm still growing is really happy. I will spend some more time on YouTube. I think like I definitely need like something like a business manager here or something. That will probably make the most sense, where you kind of optimize all your search words and keywords and all that stuff. I haven't been doing it. Like if you look at my thumbnails, they look boring AF. Very soon, guys. Very soon. I'll go there. Respect the pump, guys. Respect the pump. So yeah. So I think I'm definitely less charismatic than Ivan too. I think I just want to point that out. Like I said, I have a charisma of a potato, so it's all right. All right. Okay. Cool. Oh, Suppoman recommended Ethos in 2017, which is now Voyager. Oh, I didn't know Voyager was a rebrand of Ethos. Interesting. Anyways, believe cryptos, are you being held hostage? No, I'm not. Crypto Garden says, curious how much money you make from YouTube channels. Nothing. Like less than a few hours of farm, I would say. Like it's to a point I don't even bother looking at it. Like I get ad revenue and I get affiliate revenue. So I think affiliate revenue is probably higher than the ad revenue, because like I feel bad for YouTubers. Like I watch a lot of people. Like I watch Potato Jet, I watch Linus Tech Tips, and they make a good business out of YouTube, and they have sponsor sections. They put a lot, that's where the money comes, right? Like that's where like 60-70% of your money can come from sponsor sections. But for me, not so much. Like honestly, if I can just farm every day, I would. It makes a lot more money for me personally. If you guys were in, Viking Egg, you'll probably understand. It's just crazy, right? You just click button and money comes in and you're like, what the hell is happening, right? So yeah, YouTube is like, it's not even like, it's like probably less than 1%. It's to a point I don't care, but I do like the community. I do like sharing some thoughts, and I think the community really helped me along the way as well. 2017, I made a lot of mistakes. Like 2012 was when I made a lot of mistakes, right? I was in Mt. Gox. I was in, like I sold my Bitcoin at $15. I made all these mistakes, right? I even used like some defunct wallets, like Insta Wallet and stuff. I just didn't know the risks. But when I started my YouTube channel, this was when everyone kind of just pulled together, and you can definitely see that now as well. Like there's actually a box degen farmer Telegram. I just found out about that. Apparently some guy made it, and they tracked all these farms, and like together you're stronger, right? And this is mainly why the community really matters to me, is because like I don't have time to do all this research, but if I have enough time, if the community definitely taught me a lot of things going into crypto, and it's continuously doing that now. So like that's kind of the reason why this YouTube channel is like, I'm still putting a lot of effort in it, and I definitely would appreciate if you guys smash up those likes, guys. If you guys click that subscribe button, click the notification bell, it really does help. I just want to hope you could update you guys on what's new and what's like the kind of at the edge. I feel like that's kind of my role now in this space, where I'm more of like what's happening on the edge, what are the new things. I feel like a lot of people who have been in 2017 and they're just in Bitcoin, but they don't know the amount of innovation that's happened in the space. That's kind of the way I'm going to take it. I'll probably do a little bit more beginner content. I think those always worked well in the past, like tutorials, but I haven't done those for like months now. So that's kind of fair. I just need to make short contents. Synax says, ironically, short content actually is harder to make than longer content. Like if I rant right now and I want to just cut myself to a shorter video, like because I can cut videos and stuff, right? I'm using Premiere and all that stuff. That takes a lot of time. So that's why most of the channel now has been on live content. I know the episodes are very long. There's also box mining clips. We do actually have someone who cuts clips for us. Box mining clips on that side. So yeah, so if you guys are interested in just little clips and little snippets of what's going on, just subscribe to this one. It's a new project that kind of started out, and yeah, that's completely not me, right? That's like I'm hands off for that. Like I don't help optimize that. But if you guys want to check it out. But it takes clips from these live streams and we make it into something cool. So anyways, tell me how that goes. Tell me the feedback. I'll definitely figure out how to make this like more efficient for my time. There we go. So AMFX says, to be honest, do we think Bitcoin is ever going to 100? Dude, 100K? Really? Only? You're doubting that? Come on, AMFX. Come on. Like, imagine being back in 2012, right? I think people are like, will Bitcoin ever go to 1,000? Like it's $10 right now, right? But Peter Schiff saying it's gonna go to 0. Do people really think it's gonna like? Come on. Anyways, all right. I think that's pretty much it for today's episodes. Oh, cool. We got LINA's LUSD just got listed on Bitmax. Oh, that's pretty cool. So LUSD is like SUSD. So Linear is a synthetic assets trading platform. So you can create your own synthetic asset, just like how DAI gets created based on ETH. They can mint and create new assets, and they have their own LUSD. So that's a linear USD. So it's a synthetic version of the USD, and it just got listed on Bitmax. That's really good. That's very aggressive of them. So there. Nick Mayo also says 100K is a noob target. Absolutely. If I'm here just for 100K, like what am I doing with my time, right? Like why do I even have Bitcoin? But yeah, Michael Liu says Bitcoin was $22 BTC. Really? I mean, it rose quite aggressively in 2012. I think when I mined Bitcoin, it was 10. That was the figure I remember. There we go. So Goose got audited today. Yeah, I talked about that. That means the contracts themselves are safe, at least in CertiK's eyes. And it means you can deposit there. So anyways, there you go. We got Banana Macarius, a live stream with 3 Suppo, box mining, and Ivan would be amazing. That would be crazy. Like that's back to the old times. It's kind of funny, right? Back in the time, I think it's very easy for us to all just like iron down a time and create content together. But nowadays, I feel like, man, I don't have any time, right? Like I feel like between managing my bags on yield farming, like yield farming took up a huge chunk of my time, to be honest. I'm glad and I'm happy and sad this is the case. I'm happy because I'm generating a huge amount of passive income, but at the same time, managing bags every day is quite hard. Like just migrating farms or doing the math, doing like Excel spreadsheets of like how much risk I'm kind of exposed to and how much I should do it. It's not easy, right? And yeah, there we go. So that's pretty much it. For my time, Smart Skill Wrestling says, I have PTSD from 2018 Bitcoin, can talk anytime. Nice, Smarks. I'm going to add moderators to people, by the way. Try to get people on this channel. Michael Liu, let's add your mod. I hope to just make more content with a larger community. I think that's probably the way to handle things. Add to moderator. Suppoman says this is why I also do live streams. Short videos are too much effort. Absolutely. Like live streams from my perspective, like absolutely. I think people who live stream understand this. Like I can prepare the content. It maybe takes half an hour, 1 hour, and prepare the content and go through a live stream and it'll be done. Like it's a 1 hour live stream, so 2 hours of my time. But if I do a short video takes like say an hour to record because you want to oh wow, my video just died. Yeah, but anyways, that's fine. Give me a sec. Let me restore my video. All right, so I'm getting my video back. It's yeah, there you go. So my battery just all right, so my battery just ran out. It's one of those batteries. It's like an hour, right? So yeah, live streams is much easier. If you make a video, I actually really don't like editing myself. Like when I watch myself, I'm like so like you always realize your mistakes, right? Like every time I make a short video, and obviously there's gonna be mistakes in there, right? And like you notice all the mistakes first, right? And sometimes you can't change it. Sometimes you're like, oh man, I want to change and go back in time and like I mispronounced a word, right? I'm like, when you watch a video of yourself, especially if you're very self-conscious, you'll hate yourself. It's such a weird phenomenon, but like when you watch yourself and you're editing a video, you probably have to watch the same video 3 to 4 times just to get the right cuts. And I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Like I'm glad for the last 2 weeks I have not edited videos with myself, but I'll try to produce more short form content and just make that right for you guys. So, anyways, that's pretty much it. Why does the market dump, says Julio, on weekends? In fact, if you're talking about market dumps, a lot of times Bloody Mondays are a phenomenon, but we don't see that right now. Like we see a little bit of blood, like Ethereum's down to 1,800 today on a Monday. But it's not too aggressive. It's not too aggressive. And that's something that we've been missing, right? Bloody Mondays and Bloody Fridays tend to be the thing. And sometimes it's just fear that the market's opening or closing, especially if institutional investors are involved. This is when markets can open up, especially right now, Asian markets are up and American markets are going to be up in around 12 hours or so. So yeah, sometimes this happens, but because we're not dipping, that's actually a good sign. So like you're kind of saying, oh, if I'm missing, like at this point, I'm like, if I don't see a massive dump on Monday, that's usually a good sign for me. But that's pretty much it. Anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Make sure you guys smash up the like button and yeah, smash those likes buttons up. Check out all the stuff that's coming out. I will try to make more stuff going on. And if you come in, drop by, have a chat on the Boxnation Telegram group. We'll try to open that up soon. So if you guys want an invite or something, just comment down below. We'll try to get everyone on board. Want to say a big thank you to all the members of the channel. People are asking me, how much money do I make? I think we have maybe I say 500 members by now. I don't know. I haven't counted recently, but they provide $2 each. And some of the mega whales provide $20 each. So it's been pretty good. So I want to thank everyone who is a member of the channel. If you guys aren't members, do consider joining. You get some free perks and some free content. So anyways, Bill Shannon says, it's been a year since I tuned in. Audio much improved. Thank you. Been trying. Coming into crypto, I didn't know how to make videos, right? I learned Premiere from scratch. I learned audio, I learned video. I'm not the best, obviously, but I do try to learn. It's part of my philosophy. Like I came from a science background, so not a video background. I came from solid science, chemistry, very hardcore stuff. But throughout the years, learning about crypto, learning about venture capital, learning about video making, I always do try to make it. So thank you. I definitely appreciate that feedback. Obviously, this place is actually really loud, so I have to thank NVIDIA for that. Like, if you don't hear any background sounds and stuff, like I'm clapping, but you probably don't hear that. That's because of NVIDIA broadcast. That actually really helps getting out the background sound. But anyways, guys, thank you all so much. Thank you for the community mods as well. Dan Bronco says, congrats in making money. Congrats too if you're following this channel. I want definitely this few months is all about outperforming the market. The market is performing super well, but can you outperform it? Can you take it to the next level? That has been, for me, a key focus. So I hope you guys can join in and chime in some of your thoughts as well. And with that, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys next time. I'd like to take the time now to tell you a little bit about everything that's happening in the box mining ecosystem. First and foremost, if you guys like listening to all that's happening in crypto on the go, then I would highly recommend you checking out the Box Mining Bitcoin Out of the Box podcast. And the reason why it's called Bitcoin Out of the Box is because we have long interview segments very much exploring the detail of the newest and latest of what's going on in this whole cryptocurrency space. Whole idea of it is to bridge that gap between knowledge privileged institutional investors and the rest of us here in this space. Now, with the podcast, it's on everything. So it's on Apple Podcasts, it's on Google Podcasts, it's on Spotify. Just search it anywhere, Bitcoin Out of the Box. So just add that onto a playlist and just follow the new episodes when it's released. Next up, we also have the Box Mining newsletter. So this happens roughly bi-weekly. We give you an update of the latest that's going on in a very summarized, condensed format. So this is perfect for anyone that wants an overview of the market. Say, for example, what's happening with OKX, the biggest event, or maybe the little things like what's happening with different coins and overall the trend. So what I use the newsletter for personally myself is to understand what kind of phase we're in crypto, to kind of get in tune. So if you don't read crypto every day, the newsletter is perfect for you. Last but not least, in the link down below, if you're a Telegram user, we have the Box Mining announcements channel. So this is to announce to you basically what's the latest videos coming up, but also we have a daily update, a community-driven daily update to provide you an idea of the latest updates on a day. And a lot of people have been using that to get informed of the crazy amounts of trends that we see. And I have to give a big thank you for Claudio, our community member, for doing this. It's just been phenomenal. Definitely want to give you a shout out there, Claudio, as well for that. And taking us to the end of the live stream, so make sure, number one, you click like and subscribe on this video because it really does help this channel. And then, of course, check out the podcast. It's one of the best ways to know a little bit more, to extend that knowledge, especially in your spare time. And then, of course, check out the newsletter. If you're, if you want those updates and summaries and trends, newsletter is the place for you. And with that, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you have a good one. See you in the next video.